Okay, so card number 2 gives us 2 quadratic equations, and they want us to solve one by factoring and one by completing the square. I find factoring, you guys, to be the easiest way to do these. The way I always try to do a problem is by factoring. So, let's look. Let's look and see which one of these can factor, because not everything can factor, all right? In order to do this, I need to multiply to make 1 times 23 and add to make negative 12. Are there any numbers that multiply to make 23 but add to make 12? So it doesn't factor, you guys. This is bad. This first equation here cannot be done with factoring. So that's definitely going to be the one that I solve by completing the square. So let's see how. X squared minus 12x. And then you guys, we're going to put that 23 in the Harry Potter closet. And then what I'm going to do first for completing the square is divide that middle term by 2. So divide that negative 12 by 2 and immediately write it down. And now you got to square it and add it to the empty spot. Negative 6 times negative 6 is 36. So now you guys, I added a 36 and I have to balance it. You can subtract 36 from the same side right there if you want to. However, because I have an equal sign, I could also add 36 to the other side to balance it. So it's up to you. You either have to subtract 36 from the same side or add 36 to the other side, okay? All right, now, this trinomial right here, if I were to factor it, I would get x minus 6 squared, okay? And then that plus 23 is still there, and now it equals on this side 36. And you guys, solve means get me x values. So I need to go all the way and tell them what x equals. So in order to do that now, I have to isolate it, which is subtracting 23 from both sides. And that's 13. And now, how do I get a step closer to isolating x?
You square root both sides.
Exactly, square root both sides, and then as soon as we square root both sides, what's happening? Plus or minus. I get x minus 6 equals the square root of 13. And now I'm so close to being done. What do I gotta do? Add 6 to both sides. You guys, we prefer on the plus or minus side to put the thing that we added in front of the plus or minus. It's just the preference of how we like to look at these. So we write it as x equals 6 plus or minus square root of 13. If square root of 13 was a little prettier, we'd have to do more work. However, it's not, so we are done. This right here is 2 solutions. It's 6 plus square root of 13, and it's 6 minus square root of 13. And we are done. That was solving by completing the square, part B. Okay, now let's look at the second one they wanted me to solve. And they wanted me to definitely solve one by factoring, so this one must be able to factor. But let's test it anyway. I need to multiply to get 1 times 20. And I need to add to get negative 12. Now, you guys, I'm going to do all the steps. Let's say I'm just like really not good with numbers, but I have a calculator. I'm going to start with this top number and 1. 1 and 20 multiply to make 20. Then I'm just going to get my calculator and test 2. I divide 20 by 2. It says 10. That means 2 and 10 make 20. Then I try 3, I get a decimal. It means it doesn't work. Then I try 4, I get 5. Then I try 5, but then I go, wait a minute, why am I trying 5? 5 is already here. This means I'm done. These are all the possible ways I could multiply to make 20. And then I look for which one of them has the potential to make 12. That's 2 and 10. I want negative 12, then they both have to be negative. But then do they multiply to make a positive 20? Yes, they do. So I'm ready to start factoring. So x squared minus 12x plus 20 equals 0. I'm going to put it in this box. I'm going to put the first guy in the first box. I'm going to put the last guy in the last box. And that negative 12, I'm going to break it up into the other two boxes using the two numbers that I found. Negative 2x, negative 10x. And then now I just factor. This has to be x and x to multiply to make x squared. If I got negative 10x here, this had to be negative 10. And then if I got negative 2 here, this had to be negative 2. And just to make sure everything really is working out, is negative 2 times negative 10 positive 20? Yeah, I'm good. Which means this and this are my parentheses. I have x minus 2 times x minus 10 equals 0. And now you set each one equal to 0. And you solve. So we get that x can be 2, x can also be 10. Okay?